Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Kickin' It Stateside on A2D Radio. I am with my host, Brian.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Man, we are here.
We're here. This is it, baby.
We've been talking about it. We made it.
And we're finally doing it.
Yeah.
I'm Adam, by the way. I did not introduce myself.
And I am Brian.
Yes.
We are your hosts for Kickin' It Stateside.
Kickin' It Stateside. So for all our new fans on A2D, we are a soccer show. We are going to run down. We're heavily in the Premier League.
Yes, MLS.
Since there's no Premier League this weekend coming up, we're going to dive into a little bit on the international break.
Yes, hence the shirt.
This beautiful
is the international break shirt. Comes out every time.
Look at this guy's shirt. Where'd you get that again?
I don't know. It's some company that made an old Epcot shirt, trying to kind of.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, be that vintage shit, but yeah, took advantage of it, man.
It looks good, man.
Perfect time. Thanks.
So, yeah, what you're going to expect from us, again, heavily Premier League.
Heavy.
We're kind of going to run down this past week 8. There's a lot of good stuff going on this weekend. From Liverpool, they keep on rolling.
It's unbelievable,
8 for 8 now.
Yeah, even when you think they're down, they find a way.
And to kind of segue, because we are the Segway Kings.
We are kings of segues.
So one of our poll questions is with the Liverpool dominating the way they are so far, will they win the league by more than 10 points?
That's a great question.
Agree or disagree?
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's a big gap.
Yeah.
Because, City's they'll bounce back.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
We'll see what the
My
fans
Gunners are
want to say,
Yeah. Yeah. Because we are about the people.
We do.
If any, for our new listeners, that is our kind of our slogan.
Yeah.
We like to give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want, baby.
The OJs. That's our that's our shit right there.
The OJs. So kind of another, Man City with a shocking loss at home to Wolves.
Man, this is 2 now for them.
Apparently they play down to their competition almost.
I guess so. Somebody just saved their job, too, with the Wolves.
Yeah.
For the rest of the
Espiritu
year.
Santo's
That's
it.
Rest of the year.
It's like we were texting and you were like, that's it.
He's
safe.
He's good.
He's safe with that big win.
He's got a whole nother year now going on the road.
Love it. So, again, for the new listeners, we also have a little thing we like to say, Watford sucks.
Watford sucks.
They're just really bad.
They're just bad.
They have not won yet.
Yeah.
Still. Winless so far this year.
What, 2 draws?
Yes.
A couple points.
A couple points.
Yeah, a couple points.
What is it?
I don't know. It's not even worth.
They have negative 16 goal differential.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. 3 draws. Yeah.
But so,
I don't even know why they show up each week. I keep begging for early relegation, but it doesn't work that way.
No, unfortunately.
We got to deal with them all year.
They're sticking around.
Yeah, man.
So I guess Man United, they're seriously in trouble, I feel, at this point.
They're in big, big trouble.
What's going to happen to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I guess, going forward? Did the team quit on him? For a big-time club like Man United, they're not playing like it.
This is another game. They just didn't show up. And it's driving me crazy with my team because now this is 2 times they've drawn Watford and United, and 2 teams that are in shambles, and they're just not handling their business. Those should have been W's. We could have been in second right now.
Could have.
We'll talk about that.
We will dive into that a little more. Also, Everton. Again, for our new listeners, our hot take, we made a very, very, very bold prediction.
2 months ago, 3 months
2
ago?
months ago, that Everton would finish in the top 6.
I think I even went 4, dude.
Did we do top 4?
You went 6. I went 4. I was riding them hard.
Yeah,
and I don't even like them like that. But
we were on paper, this team should no doubt about
they should
be top 6.
And that brings us to our question: should Silva's ass be
Marco
gone?
Silva
Gone. Fire him.
I feel like I could go on a huge rant probably when we get to that game.
Yeah.
Because on paper, amazing lineup, and they just are not performing.
That's coaching, man. That's coaching.
It had to boil down to. So that is another poll question for Should Marco Silva get fired? Do you agree or disagree? I'd love to see what the
not so much
people have
will,
to
but
say.
should he? I say yes, but we'll talk more about that.
We will. And kind of the last thing, there's a Pulisic sighting for all us Americans.
Ooh.
Yay.
Oh.
He got an assist.
He did.
And after last week, again, another segue, we have a show on Spotify
and
iTunes.
Yes.
So
pre-recorded one that we've been doing.
We've been doing that, and we figured that this would be a awesome opportunity. And we just want to thank Tom and all the guys at A2D Radio for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah, everybody here's been awesome, man. So far, so good. So we're happy to join the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to start out, before we get rolling into the games, we have a bunch of social medias also.
Yes.
Let's plug those before.
Yes, between A2D and us. I mean, we both have Twitters. Ours is obviously Kicking at Stateside. Or at K-Stateside.
At K-Stateside.
We have the Instagram, which you're seeing us on A2Ds. You're seeing us on their YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also have our own IG, our own Facebook, Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all coming together.
With a website coming,
With a website coming.
So.
And now that we're part of them, there's just even more that we can bring.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah. Our first, before we get rolling, we have a couple sponsors to plug. Gibson Mayer LLC, for certified public accountants. We have the address, 301 Oxford Valley Road in beautiful Yardley, PA.
Yeah, so if you need a good accountant, that's the place
He's
to
your
go,
man.
Man. Absolutely.
You could give him a ring, 215-369-3300. And also, who else we got?
Who do we
Brian.
got? We got Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Their website is scanzanosports.com. You can check them out. It's a place where you can go and, I guess, rent space and get your team some practice time and stuff like
Beautiful.
that. So, yeah, beautiful facility over there.
Shout out to them.
Absolutely. In the Cherry Hill area.
Yes, and beautiful Yardley. Love that area.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So let's get rolling.
Let's get
bring
into these
people
games, baby.
What we're here for. Yeah, bro.
Let's do it. So we're gonna start. Let's start out with this Wolves-Man City game.
We talked, and I think out of the 2 upsets this weekend, that's the bigger one.
That is the bigger one.
Going into City, taking 3 points. Who does that?
Has anybody?
The team from the bottom. Of course, the team from the bottom of the table comes in and does that.
And Wolves now, they were looking like they were dead in the water.
Yeah.
It seemed, and now all of a sudden they've won 2 in a row.
2 in a row. A huge one. I mean, talk about a confidence booster.
Yeah, absolutely. And granted, the one was against our wonderful Watford side.
Yeah, but they did what they were supposed to do.
To go on the road.
Yes.
And get a win at the Etihad was
not many have done it in the
huge.
past, 3 years, basically. So
exactly.
That is a feat in itself.
And also, we've been saying this a lot, too. The defense is going to be huge going forward for City. And it's really been an issue thus far with Laporte being hurt. He's going to be out probably, you're looking at what, for the year?
Possibly, yeah.
So you have to insert, your John Stones, who's, in my eyes, not that good at all.
And he got banged up, too.
Yeah.
They're just, one after another. So you can have all the offense in the world, but it's proving that if you can't play D, that's the difference right now between Liverpool and them. It's clearly defense.
And we've been saying, can they or will the lack of getting defense in the transfer window in the summer come back to bite them on the ass?
It has already.
Yeah.
It definitely has. You're 1 or 2 injuries away on that side of the ball from being where they're at now.
Yeah.
They don't look like the team they looked like last year. You can't outscore everybody on a weekly basis. You're gonna have those games. That 8-0 game looked ridiculous, but then you come back and you just lay an egg at home against a team like Wolves who had their back up against it.
And is it now that Champions League's rocking and rolling, some of these sides we were saying that, is it you're going to have to rotate it.
Yeah.
And now with your defense pretty much in shambles, it's going to be a little harder. You're going to get that fatigue rolling in. And we've seen it with a couple of teams that we'll talk about that
Well, they look tired. I mean, Traore at the end of the game, that's how he got those goals. He ran, just was outrunning them, out-hustling them. They were beat, and he took advantage of it.
Right.
So.
It's just the Man City fans out there, good for you. Way to jump on the bandwagon while you still could.
It seems that's where maybe a lot of them came from.
But hey,
as soon as they got some money, they all.
It's like you're kind of staring. Was it 8 points now?
Yeah, that's crazy.
8-point lead.
That's crazy already. An
So,
8-point gap in the table.
Yeah. So Wolves, thumbs up to you guys. Way to go on the road and get a much needed win. And now they had a 2-game winning streak, and now they're sitting in what? They are. Wolves has jumped all the way up to.
Oh, they're right.
They're
right back in the mix, man.
15,
11.
11.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah,
it's
they were in
amazing.
The basement 2 weeks ago.
It's amazing what a win can do for you right now. The way this table is laid out, everybody that's not Liverpool needs these wins.
Exactly.
Like, anytime you can get them, because you got to stay afloat with everybody else.
Well, speaking of Liverpool,
yes,
they continue to roll on with a 2-1 victory over Leicester.
Yeah, Saturday. That was a good game.
That was an awesome game.
You took that as far as our picks go for everybody that's new to us.
Yeah, you want to let the people know?
Yeah, we do 4 picks every weekend for the slate of games between Adam and myself, score and result. So just getting the result right, being that it's soccer, it's difficult to get a score and a result. Result's worth 1 point. If you get an exact, it's worth 4 points. So we've had a few this year, a few 4-pointers each. This week was a little difficult, but this is one you grabbed 1 off. You were just a goal off. You said 3-1. Final was 2-1. I had a 2-2 draw, which was looking very possible for a little bit.
You went with your draw card.
Yeah, I was at least thinking I was going to get the 1-1 draw, but Liverpool came through with a late winner and sealed the deal. Very good game. James Milner wearing the captain band for the first time this year and took the PK.
Getting the PK in the 95th.
Yeah.
So 17 Premier League wins in a row for Liverpool now.
They're just rolling, man. You're not knocking them off track.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
And Leicester, we said this. This was going to be Liverpool's biggest challenge thus far, and they passed it.
They did. It was close. I mean, I definitely thought Leicester was going to grab that draw and just sit on it once they tied it up, but. Unfortunately, Liverpool is Liverpool.
Liverpool's Liverpool, man.
They did what they've been doing all year to everybody.
And, I mean, Leicester going forward, I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think they are too.
I mean, James Maddison, again, gets on the score sheet. He's been a bright spot for them.
Yeah, he's a stud.
So, again, Leicester going forward, I think, no panic for the Foxes. I think they're going to be all right. Everyone's struggled against Liverpool this far.
Yeah, they're still in great shape. Everything they've done this year, they gave Liverpool one of the best matchups of the year so far. So,
and again, we have our poll up. Will Liverpool win the league by 10 or more? Do you agree or disagree?
I'm probably just on where I would say no, because I feel like that's a difficult feat. But give it 2 or 3 more weeks like this, and I'll probably change my mind. At
first, I was going to say by Christmas, but since Man City lost this past weekend and the gap was 8, I figured,
Oh, it's very doable.
Because I saw something on ESPN that they were like, is Liverpool going to go undefeated?
Yeah. It's happened.
I mean, last year, how many? They didn't lose too many last year.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing people have to understand that are new to this game in this league that might not follow it as hard as we do.
Right.
Undefeated also does mean, you can get a draw here and there because sometimes a draw is important. Draw is 1 point. You don't leave empty-handed. They're very important, those 1 points at the end of the year. Coming from an Arsenal fan who, sometimes we draw teams that shouldn't.
By the draw.
And we end up missing the top 4 by a point or 2 points or something like that. So sometimes it's important to, when you're playing a bad game, to find a way to get that tie, get that point, and get out of there. But, I don't see I just don't see anybody beating them at this point.
No.
Not right now.
So please tell us what you think.
Yes, we'd love to hear from the fans.
Absolutely. So let's move on.
The breakfast game this week?
Yes, indeed.
I mean, I'm happy with it. And we were both. I mean, everybody was off. We said
Yeah.
there's no way, right? If you listen to the last show on
We did
Spotify,
say that.
there
We were
was
like,
no way that Brighton's going to beat the Spurs.
And, of course,
Brighton beat the Spurs.
this
3-0, baby.
3-0.
I am so happy.
For the goals.
I am so happy. This was a great, 5-day stretch for me. I'm wearing my Bayern Munich pants today, too, after that 7-2 demolishing over the Spurs.
Yeah.
Had to throw them on. And then I busted out the Irish jerseys for our man Conley.
Yeah.
2 goals. The
yeah.
youngest Irishman to score.
Conley.
Aaron Conley, youngest Irishman to score 2 goals in a Premier League debut since Mr. Keane back in 1999.
Really?
Yes. So
Nice. We love our Nuggets here.
yeah, bright spot for the Irishman. You know, good young kid to have going into the international break.
Yeah, get a little confidence, but I mean,
Maupau, another goal.
Mm-hmm.
Big upset, man.
Absolutely.
This would have definitely been one of the biggest upsets to talk about in a long time if
Spurs were actually doing
if Spurs, yeah, I guess if Spurs were
Better than
playing
they
better,
were.
and if we didn't have Man City go down, so
True.
that kind of took a little heat off the Spurs, I guess, this week. But
I was gonna say all the Spurs fans out there.
yeah, we're gonna be doing the red card, yellow card segment, and Poach, you might show up on there. So
He's on notice.
oh, he's on big time notice, man.
I mean, is it safe to say that the team has given up on him?
They're winless in their last 10 road games.
That's not good.
A top team can't say that. Like, you
No.
can't be a top team and say we're winless in our last 10 road games.
Right.
Like,
Well, you got Christian Eriksen. He wants out,
Eriksen's, yeah, he's been done. He's been done before the year started.
and
Harry Kane looks like he wants to be an NFL kicker more than he wants to be, a center forward. He never plays Lucas Moura. The only guy who showed up, and even in this game, when he finally put him in the game, he was the only guy hustling all over the field. I've been saying it for months, and I'm okay because you know how I feel. Fuck Spurs. Spurs are
he's
shit.
an Arsenal fan. If you didn't know by that comment,
So keep him on the bench. That's fine with me, Poach. You keep doing your thing, buddy, because,
keep doing it.
yeah, every time they fall, I'm happy.
I say I
It's kind of like the Eagle fans out here. It's like whoever the Eagles – they're rooting for the Eagles, and whoever Dallas plays that week, that's how I am. I'm rooting for Arsenal and whoever Tottenham's playing that week. So
it's pretty
the
much how it
goals,
is.
man, I was loving it.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean Spurs are just
they're in trouble.
they're not playing very well. They got played off the pitch.
Yeah,
Straight up.
by a what
team-
most people would say is a bottom level team. Can
I would
anybody
say so.
beat anybody on any day? Of course, but when you're playing a bottom level team like that, you got to show up if you want to be one of them top 4. And
It was not a great week for Spurs fans out there,
no
but I don't think you're going to get any
no sympathy here.
no sympathy on this show.
Even from you, you're not even giving.
I know.
You don't even give them any.
I'm a Chelsea stan, so
Yeah, and Spurs and Dortmund had a few nice
That's true.
run-ins over the last few years.
I'm just repping my boy Pulisic.
So let's go to our next team on absolute notice, man. Everton.
Everton is quite on notice, my friend.
1-0.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Burnley.
Mm-hmm.
Red card for Seamus Coleman. Just
I'm not sure what's going on.
uninspired football, man.
I said, what the fuck is going on? I just don't understand. I don't understand what's going on.
I can tell you it's exactly our poll question. Should Silva be fired? Absolutely.
Coach.
There's too much talent on this team for them to
every day,
perform like
every
this.
week we go
Yeah.
through their who they put out in their 11, and it's like this team should
It's a
not be
joke.
that bad
It's a joke.
every time.
Yeah.
And he loves Bernard.
He
And
loves Bernard.
He loves putting in Bernard for some goddamn reason. I have no idea why, because I don't think the kid maybe he has one goal the last 2 years,
Yeah.
maybe 2.
He for some reason
But-
will not start Moses Keane.
Nope.
That was like your signing of the offseason. That was what pushed me to say, oh, man, they added Moses Keane to this lineup.
Yeah.
They're top 6 easily.
Right.
And he never plays them. He plays them when they're down or they're losing, and he expects miracles out of the guy. Get the guy in the lineup. Anytime I think he started maybe twice this year, they've won. I know that for a fact.
He loves playing Calvert-Lewin up top.
He does.
And you have he's
There's
putting
been zero
Richarlison on the
production.
wing, which is
He has no idea what he's doing.
I think he's looking to what we said, he should change it up.
He should change it up.
Because obviously 4-2-3-1 is not working with who he has in. You have Fabian Delph and Schneiderlin. Okay.
Yeah, great central defenders. Perfect. You have them in the right. They're the only guys on that entire team in the right positions.
And we've said their back four is always like Luca Digne,
Yeah.
Yuri Mina, Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
No, Michael Keane.
Michael Keane.
And Seamus Coleman. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good back line. And you got Pickford controlling the whole thing in goal.
But if you're defending the entire game, these guys are going to break down, and that's what happened with Coleman. And he gets a red card, and now you're playing a man down without one of your best defenders, and you're going to lose, especially to a Burnley team at home that's going to take advantage of that.
And they sure did.
They did. Just Burnley being Burnley again.
Damn.
My man Jeff Hendrick, another Irishman. See, the Irish
That's
came
why
out. They just came out strong today.
We got two. A lot of Irish love.
Yes.
Let's go. But how about this? You know how I said for my fantasy team I dropped Chris Wood after he scored? I picked him back up.
You did. I knew you were going to do it. You said you weren't going to do it, and you
Too
did.
predictable.
Did you? But you probably started him, too, and then you didn't score.
No, I started Maupaw.
Ah, smart. Look at you.
Yeah.
You're finally learning.
I'm learning.
You're learning.
It's like, wait,
awesome.
Nobody cares about your fantasy team, loser.
I care.
I know.
I told you I care.
You're the only person.
Who's got Wesley, bro? Because Wesley's nasty.
He is good. Their
like-
record signing
Yeah.
from I forgot always free. We did this in the preview show.
Where did he come from?
Yeah. Somebody was like,
Remember.
I forget.
He's a Brazilian nationalist, though.
He is.
He's
a very good.
he's becoming quite the striker.
I mean,
He finds the ball.
he's good. I don't see any. He's not like.
I mean, he's not Tammy, but they needed to replace Tammy, and it was a strong move by them right now.
Yeah.
He's been getting production for them.
So I mean.
They just won 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
5-1.
Yeah, I mean.
My Canaries are.
Your Canaries
they're
are.
toast, man. They're toast.
Finally, he admits it, folks.
He
He admitted they're going down.
They are. It's
That was
sad.
your team.
Well, Pookie, man, he's a living legend. He's still legendary status on our show.
The Finnish
even
assassin.
if they end up going down.
I know.
But they're struggling right now. At home too, against another team that just came up. You figured you'd put up a better game, and to lose 5-1.
I didn't expect that one.
And it wasn't. It's not like they got a red and lost somebody. They legit just got beat up and down that field all day.
Well, it was Daniel Faka. I think at the end of the game, he was like, "We were missing 10 players."
And they are having major injury problems. I understand.
Majorly.
I understand that.
They're on their third string keeper.
I know. Well, Timmy Krul. I mean, we miss him. They're missing him big time. But
Poor Timmy.
yeah.
But yeah, the Canaries are.
What do you mean? He's got a win under City under his belt.
That's true.
He could just retire now. He's had a great career.
It's been good.
Yeah, hang it up, Tim.
It's okay.
When they go down this year, hang it up.
Yeah. I was gonna say. So yeah, I mean, I'm still not sold on Villa. They can put up 5. I don't
Yeah,
give a shit.
I mean, you can't be sold on them, but they had a good week.
Eh.
I'm not anointing them like a top 10 team after this, but
You would think
it kept them alive.
They should be a little better too, though. I mean, I love Jack Grealish. Underrated player.
He is a
Let's
very
face it.
underrated player. He's been the captain of that team for a while.
And Douglas Luiz finally gets back on the score sheet. They just don't score.
They don't score enough, but I mean, they're in a better
score.
They're in a better spot than some teams right now.
That's true. It could be way worse.
It could be.
Watford.
Everton. Dude. Everton's relegated if season ends today. So horrible.
It was a terrible hot take.
So yeah, whatever. So
I
speaking of Watford, I mean, we can skip over this game pretty much.
I was gonna say I don't
Watford,
have too much to
Sheffield.
say about this one.
It's disappointing for Sheffield, actually. This
Our
was an
Blades.
opportunity.
Or my
to-
Blades.
Yeah, your Blades to grab another win, and they kind of blew that. I mean, they were on the road, but playing against a Watford team right now, you should be grabbing 3 points if you can.
My boy Billy Sharp came on late.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
But
Nothing.
Sheffield is undefeated, 4 games undefeated on the road.
Yeah. They're doing what you're supposed to do in this league on the road.
Hey, you said
like we said earlier, grab a draw on the road.
Grab a draw every
get
once in a while and get a couple wins.
Yeah,
maybe
you got to win your games at home, and you'll stay up.
You'll stay up. Don't worry.
Like we've talked about this on our shows in the past. Is you got this? The trick with this league is they have something called relegation. So the bottom 3 teams move down to the lower league. The top 3 teams from that league move up to this league.
Mm-hmm.
If you can move up and you can stay up 1 year, then the money opens up. You have the opportunity to sign players and then possibly stay up for long term. It's very hard though your first year to stay up.
Well, that's the whole thing. You want to stay up so you get a little bit of more money.
Oh yeah, it's a big money jump when you make that through that first year.
I mean, we've seen teams in the past do the double relegation. Like
that double drop.
My boys at Sunderland doing
Yeah.
So yeah, if you get bottom 3, you go down to the championship.
Yes.
You go down from that League 1, League 2, such and such.
Yes. So
you don't want
to start
as a top side, like and a prominent, passionate teams. Once you get down to that League 1,
it's kind of
your funding is
it goes away.
because then you got to sell players off. You can't afford to pay them.
Right, and then you talk about a rebuild in American sports. A rebuild in this game is ridiculous. Because then you got to start nailing the right players and building them up and then selling them off. And to get back up to that top tier could take 10, 15 years sometimes. You see it.
Yeah.
These teams go down once and they disappear.
That's why it's such a great thing for some of these smaller teams to be up in like Sheffield.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome for them.
Right. That's why I root them on when I can when they're not playing against a team like Arsenal.
Should we talk about your Gunners?
Well, we still got one more Saturday game.
I'm sorry.
And then we can move on. Palace, West Ham, we were both clearly wrong on this.
I just can't figure Palace out.
I don't know, and
I really cannot figure them out.
For our biggest fan group, DC, Crystal Palace, DC.
Oh, hey, guys, hope you're watching.
Yeah, hope you guys actually are watching this one because they've been our best Twitter follower.
Yeah.
I just won't pick you because any week I've picked them, they've flopped, and any week that we've picked against them, they win. So
maybe
for their sake, I just won't pick you anymore. I promise.
Try and steer clear away from the.
And if we're doing them in a pick, I'll just pick them to lose.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll show up again because they go into West Ham, and they have not been good on the road. We said it in the last show. That's their
and West
big
Ham
Achilles.
was hot coming in.
Yeah, especially at home. And Crystal Palace goes in and steals a nice 2-1 victory.
That's why I said I say this league every week because you just don't know.
Yeah, we text each other that
at
least once a weekend. Like, really, dude? Like, we're sitting here trying to make all these predictions, and it's almost impossible. So when we do nail them, I feel even more proud of what we've accomplished.
True.
Because we've hit some perfects this year.
Well, you keep riding Leicester into the sunset.
Yeah, they let me down this week. They let up that late bullshit penalty, or I would have had that draw called again. It wouldn't have been the right score.
No.
I said 2-2, but still, calling the draw would have been cool.
Yeah, it was a little step back for our predictions from last week when we were pretty on point.
Yeah. So what do you have as a point total? Did you tally us up?
It was 26-24 because if I got 2, you got 1.
Yeah.
I closed the gap within 2.
You're within 2.
So for all our new A2D followers, I started out the season goddamn awful.
Yeah,
I was terrible.
It was like 18 to
Brian was kicking my ass
or something
in
like
the predictions. Like you nailed like 2, I think, maybe on the first 2 weeks. Like you had like 2 like 7 or 6 point weeks.
Yeah.
And I was just terrible. And what was it? It was
it was 8. I had 18, and maybe you might have got it up to 10, 6 or 10. Yeah, but I was coasting.
It was bad.
Yeah. Maybe I got a little loose after that. I was trying to make too many bold predictions.
I think that was the thing.
Whatever.
You go.
No, I think you just made some good picks, and it is what it is.
Nah.
I'll get it back.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, now we can talk about my Gunners.
Okay.
I'm not thrilled.
No.
That was a game that if you watch the first half, that should have been a 3-0 victory, 3-1 victory. Those are games you got to pick up some goal differential. But a win is a win. Got to win at home. Against a Bournemouth team that had been very hot. Very lucky Callum Wilson's goal did not go in. I don't know if you happen to see that, but that thing like trickled right across the face of the goal. There was no one there to punch it in. Kind of an Arsenal defensive lapse. It was nice to see David Luiz, though, get us on the board.
What a random ass score.
Yeah, but he does that. He has good free kicks. He can get that header on the corners, and when he's not tugging on people's jerseys, he's not a bad defender. I mean, this is the David Luiz that we were hoping for.
I mean,
so we sneak out right before the international break. We're sitting in third place. I mean, if you told me before the season at this international break, now the second one of the year, through these many weeks, that we would be in third place behind Liverpool and Man City, I would be ecstatic. But watching the games and the way we've done it and the way City hasn't been good, we could very easily be in second place if we didn't draw Watford and draw United.
That's the same old Arsenal. You guys draw teams that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then it comes back to bite in the ass at the end of the year when you're in Europa League.
And I hope it doesn't.
Ha.
I hope it doesn't. Whatever. We're playing good Europa League ball right now, too. And if he puts Gabriel Martinelli in the damn starting lineup, I mean.
That was a nice little pickup.
Yeah, this team's going to be. Dude, Saka, the kid's 17 years old. There's a lot of good youth. And I think this Chelsea transfer ban and these teams starting to see what they're getting out of their youth it's starting to cross over through the whole league. I think the league's starting to see it, and now some of these young kids are getting that playing time. Like we said, where's Brighton getting scoring from? They finally give this kid Conley a chance.
Yeah,
in his debut at 19 years old, grabs 2 goals. Maybe you got to start playing these young guys throughout the league.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be the old man league. The spots for the 19-year-olds aren't reserved for PSG and teams like that anymore. Get them in the rosters. Get them in the 11, the 18.
The big money players besides your Messis and Ronaldos aren't. I mean,
yeah, they're here.
They're there, but they're a little bit of a headache, i.e. Paul Pogba.
Right. Do you want that? And what are they doing? Pogba hasn't produced since week 2.
No.
So.
No way.
Yeah. So I guess
we can segue into that one if you want. The United?
No.
You want to go into?
Yeah, let's skip that. We'll skip your game because that was actually a big game for Chelsea. There's a little more to talk about. I mean, United. There's not much to talk about, dude. You lost to Newcastle.
Yeah. And we're struggling Newcastle, where we just said Steve Bruce should be fired.
Yeah, we're screaming to fire Steve Bruce last week, and they go, they're home, but still they get a win against United. I guess it's not saying much this year. But Arsenal couldn't do it. But, yeah,
United look pitiful.
They do. They look sad, pitiful team.
Again.
There's probably a lot of United fans that are going to end up watching this. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of U.S. United fans. But you got to do something because Gunner's not it, man.
He ain't it, Chief.
Yeah. You got it's time to sell.
We talked about who they were going to get their scoring from.
I don't know.
I think it's just an inexperienced team all around. Coach, players, besides Pogba.
That's no excuse. Rashford has
even
plenty.
Matic, though, he's an old buck.
They all have plenty of caps, and they've all have international play. These guys have been around. The excuses are out the window now. There's enough talent on that team that you should go into Newcastle and take a victory, and you're Man United.
Should.
They didn't. And it's just another, top team that it's sad to see them falling, but oh well.
But is another manager going to even help? It's like.
No, you need both. It's kind of like they talk in this city, about the Phillies. I think you got to clean house if you're going to do it.
Oh, you just cross, right?
I crossed a little bit. Yeah, I could do that. I could cross sports. I'm not just a soccer guy, man. But, yeah, if you're going to do it, just clean everything. You just got to go in and take it all out. You got to sell off the big headache.
Pogba wants to leave, but they just won't let him go.
Right, let him go. You know how much money you could get for that man, too? Just let him go. Use that money. Start rebuilding again.
Let him be happy.
Yeah, be the club that you're supposed to be.
At Real Madrid or wherever the hell he wants to go. I forget where he's.
It was Juventus and it was Real. Just let him go.
He's over this challenge at United.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was much of a challenge. I don't think they challenged him. They should have put him in a better spot. Moreno killed his career, and now Gunner's just making it worse.
He's not the coach.
Yeah.
Going forward.
No.
And I think most Man United fans probably feel the same way, that he's not the guy. If you're trying to get back to that Man United glory day of, your Alex Fergusons of the world and all the players they used to have, the squad they have now is not even close.
No, they used to be always that team that if there was a big name coming up in the transfer market, it was like if they're going to Premier League, they're mostly going to United.
Yeah.
And now it's like, who wants to go to United? That's the problem. That's the sad thing.
True.
So
very true.
But a team that's doing it right now. Your team.
Let's go.
I allowed this because we're a partnership.
Oh yeah, that.
It kind of hurts me right now.
That little thing.
I got to bring some Arsenal swag for the next show because like I'm just surrounded by too much blue right now. That's why I brought my own here for you because we'll see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll
talk about that before we go.
We'll get into that.
But yeah, Chelsea, man, 4-1.
Hey,
they bounced back.
The kids are all right.
The kids are all right.
Tammy again. Mason Mount again.
Yes, Conte looking like the old wily vet on that team at 28 years young.
The silent assassin, I like to call him.
Yeah, he's playing an offensive role. This guy's not a guy known for his offense. If anybody knows, he's been one of the best central defensive midfielders in the world for the last few years. Kind of led that World Cup team that just won from them.
Mm-hmm.
And now Chelsea's like, Frank's like, dude, play some offense. Like, help us out. Do a little of everything, and it's working.
It's working,
got
baby.
his second goal of the year. That was the big one. That kind of sealed it after Danny Ings got him back into the game. It was sitting there 2-1. You were like, damn, is Chelsea going to do this again? Is Southampton for real? Danny Ings just keeps poaching goals.
It's pretty sad when Danny Ings is your top scorer.
Yeah, I know. But you know the deal. They'll be there. They'll be like 16th. 15th, 16th at the end of the year, and they're going to stay up again.
That
it's
pisses me off.
just going to happen. Michy Batshuayi sighting.
There was.
He finally gets a goal.
The old Dortmund connection with Pulisic to Michy.
Yes.
And there's a Pulisic sighting, guys.
There was.
That's why I brought my U.S. jersey here.
Yes.
I won't say whose jersey it is or who's on the back. Maybe I'll reveal that later.
I hate him.
We can talk about that when we get into the international talk. But
yeah. So we're hitting that international break. So
that's true.
Yeah.
But hey, all my Chelsea Blues out there, we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
The kids are all right.
Right up into 5th, man.
Hell yeah.
Right up there. Crystal and Leicester all at 14.
Mm-hmm.
And only a point off Arsenal and 2 off City. So everybody's here to play in that top 10. Top 11 now, even with the Wolves hitting that double-digit points.
Yep.
And anybody from down there, you got work to do.
It's true.
So
I guess usually we would go into looking at the next week's fixtures, but since this week is the international break, we're gonna try and switch it up.
Yes, we are.
And we'll talk about the other stuff next week.
Yeah, there's no point in breaking down the upcoming fixture since the next games aren't till what we got a good
10 days.
At least 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the 19th, the Saturday, the following.
Cool.
We come back with Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's get into what we.
I say, what do you want? Some international stuff.
We could go a little international first.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So the U.S. team has, what is it called? The League of Nations now?
Yeah.
1,000 leagues under the sea or
Yeah,
something?
we were talking. There is a million different tournaments and leagues and cups. And
apparently this is new.
Yeah, so what it is there's all these smaller, long season tournaments that are helping these teams qualify for World Cup play going forward. It's just more games being played that aren't considered friendlies now, I guess, too.
Right.
They were playing so many friendlies, they kind of figured why not take advantage of it and make a cup out of it.
They're trying to, I guess, get some competition out of the whole thing, maybe get a winner of whatever these CONCACAF Nations League.
Yes, it's the Nations League, not the Nations Cup.
So we have a game Friday against Cuba.
And that game is in D.C.
Yes, Audi Field, brand new.
Which is awesome because you and I have talked on shows in the past. Sometimes as U.S. we have these home games, and they put them in predominantly like heavy areas. Like this is a game that typically you would see the U.S. make in like the game would be in like Florida somewhere.
Yeah.
And it would be all Cubans there.
Yeah, try and draw.
And we'd have no home crowd. So to make it in D.C., that's a big up, and maybe somebody's finally taking note of that.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised, honestly, it wasn't in, like, Orlando or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks when you're the home team and you don't have the home crowd.
Well, we talked about that when
Especially
they played
in this country.
Mexico at MetLife.
Yeah.
And it was it was basically 75%, 70% Mexican fans.
Yeah. Well, you saw when you came up to Red Bull Arena with me how much Spanish and Mexican and all that influence is up in that part.
Right.
And that's who fills those seats. So I get it from a perspective of wanting to sell seats and tickets, but if you want to build your brand and make people that want to come play for this team, like you got to
say soccer in this country isn't up to that level where you can just be like, all right, we just want the money. No.
Yeah.
You want the notoriety. You want to get people more into the game.
Yeah, we're already seeing that with, players that we're losing.
Right.
Because they have this dual citizenship and they have the ability to jump from whatever country they want to, like Dest.
Yeah.
Coming up. And I'll save that because I know that's something I wanted to do for the yellow card.
Right.
But yeah, that's.
Yeah, so, and they again we play Canada.
Yes.
On
what,
next Tuesday, the 15th.
The 15th, yeah. So those two have already played each other 2 games.
Right.
Cuba and Canada in this tournament, and it looks like Canada's won both.
Okay.
So they're already sitting pretty at 6 points.
Right on.
We haven't played a game yet, so 2 wins coming up would be beautiful.
Yes. I mean, we should win these 2.
Yeah.
If we don't beat Cuba,
Cuba we have to beat.
We should just go home and never play soccer again.
Yes, you're right. If we lose to
real.
Cuba, honestly, anything but a win against Cuba. You can't even draw Cuba. You have to beat Cuba.
You should destroy Cuba.
You should.
No offense to any Cubans watching, but
then as far as Canada goes, I mean they're a little underrated.
You know some of the names, but they're not.
I mean,
anybody to write home about? Come on, man.
No, when the grand scheme of things, but who am I to pump up this team?
We want this country. We want to be talked about in like the top at least like 10 to 12 here, and we're not.
Dude, we're not in the top 30 yet. I mean,
well, not doing the whole World Cup qualifying that really puts a damper on pretty much everything. That's why this World Cup coming up is just monumental.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, who's sick of Greg Berhalter?
Me.
At home.
Me. That should be a poll question.
That should have been, yeah.
We can make that for next week.
Yeah, because then all the games will be.
We'll have some. Yeah, we'll have something that we can actually see how
and
they did.
A little recap of.
Dude, if they flop against Cuba, man, I'm gonna lose my shit.
It'll be like 0. It'll be a 0-0 or 0-0 draw.
Yeah,
and they'll come back in here next Tuesday and be like, "What the fuck is going on? What's happening to this country?" Well, if that happens, if it's a 0-0 draw between Cuba, Greg Berhalter should just go home. He shouldn't even go in the locker room after the game.
Yeah, just keep walking. Like literally, just keep walking.
Wherever his house is, I hope it's in D.C. because you got a long journey back home, buddy.
Yeah.
Because
that would be a sad show.
But I guess just a little bit. Josie Altidore, I saw, was forced out of camp with an injury.
Yeah.
So he actually gets called back, and then he gets hurt. So that's kind of a bummer because we're still looking for somebody to put the ball in the net.
Now,
because he keeps playing Zardes.
My question is he hurt or is it like Toronto on the last day grabbed the 4 seed and now have a home playoff game? And is it more like
one of those?
Yeah, is it like he's just a little banged up and Toronto basically was
Josie Altidore forced to withdraw from U.S. men's national team be due to injury.
He's a vet, man, so he's like, why would you want to, honestly, if you're him, why would you play in this tournament when you got your playoffs coming up and your team just moved up from possibly not making the playoffs in the last 3 weeks to getting a home playoff game?
Right.
Like, you got to rest. Yeah, you got to take this time to rest. I get it.
So is it him or is it Toronto? Because usually
it's probably a mix of him and Toronto, honestly.
It's pretty selfish on Toronto's part.
It is, but you know what?
Why the hell? I mean, I guess to save him up so he has 2 weeks because the playoffs for the MLS don't start until the week after.
Right, and that's why you're not going to get our playoff show till then.
Right.
So,
yeah, it doesn't really specify. It just says
I know.
injury.
I mean, this is
The
all
old hockey thing, the
it's
old lower body.
Yeah, it's speculation on my part, but it's just I think it's a good move on his part to take this time off and get ready for the MLS playoffs. His career's coming towards an end, man. He's getting older.
Yeah.
He's only got so much time.
I was gonna say.
This is probably – does he make 2 more World Cups? I don't know. 8 or 6 more years or whatever. I don't think.
It'd be like some Dempsey shit.
Yeah.
Just play until you're like 36-ish.
But you can't do that.
Yeah.
We're not talented enough to do that.
No.
Teams like Netherlands could do that with Robin and Van Persie.
And call in some people in the squad that actually are worth the time.
Right, and it's giving these kids a chance.
You could see my frustration with this team. It's bullshit.
Yeah, well, who did he bring in again? The same kids that can't play?
Yeah,
that he loves?
Yeah, Will Trapp.
Yeah.
He's back.
He loves Will Trapp.
He loves him and Zardes because he used to be
their head coach?
the coach for Columbus Crew.
Yeah.
I just don't.
He sucks.
Whatever, man.
Be honest, he sucks. All U.S. coaches in the last 15 years have
What
sucked.
did we say? Let's stop doing this MLS coaching carousel bullshit.
Yeah, just keep bringing up the same guys for the same results. You're not growing U.S. soccer on the men's side by doing that.
It's not happening.
It's sad.
It's just funny that Brendan Aronson, the 18-year-old from the Union, got called into the camp.
Hey,
Which is great. Like, good for him.
Yeah.
But is he our best option?
I mean,
He plays like a buck, like 50 soaking wet.
He does.
He
does. I watched little Kamar Lawrence kind of bang him around when we went to that game.
He's got to get his weight up.
He does. But I guess the sad thing is at this point is either he's our best option or the people that are making the decisions for U.S. soccer feel that that's our best option. And I don't know what's worse.
Right.
You know, I think the people that are in charge from top to bottom just haven't done the right thing in the men's game. They can't produce the talent and put them in the positions they need to succeed. Like, we should never, with this many people in this country, we should never miss the biggest tournament in the world.
I mean, you saw how much of a success it was, how everybody got into it back in, what was it?
Oh, yeah. Anytime they're competitive, you know, it's in our nature as Americans to jump on that bandwagon, which is awesome. You know, you should. If they make it to that level, jump on the bandwagon, support them. I'm all for it. I was never one to be like, oh, these people don't know what they're talking about. You want to root for them, go root for them, whether you like soccer or not.
Yeah.
That's good. You're rooting for your country.
Yeah, all the watch parties around the world or around the U.S.
The longer you go when you're not playing these competitive games that mean something in this country, you're going to lose interest in everybody. And then once that happens, it's like you have no chance of development.
That's why it's so awesome for U.S. soccer to have these kids going to Germany or England, because it's going to just get more people into, you know, the game in itself.
Yeah.
You see the Pulisic, Josh Sargent going over. You know, you got your John Brooks. You know, Yedlin's
back.
I saw that.
That was cool to see.
Good. The Zach Steffens, he's going to Germany. There's so many players that are going. Overseas to play, which is just going to, I think, help your Weston McKinneys of the world too. These guys are starting for top, league teams, which is only going to help us out.
Absolutely.
Going forward.
Yeah, if the development's still there.
Right.
If you put the right coach in place to build this roster around those guys with the players that aren't quite on that level yet. Mm-hmm. The MLS type level guys, the Liga MX level guys. You need to be able to put all that together.
Yeah.
And right now it hasn't happened, and we need to hope that it does, because when teams like Iceland, who have a population smaller than Rhode Island, are qualifying for the World Cup and making, noise in the Euros, and we can't even get in, it's sad.
It's very sad.
So.
Yeah, Greg on Facebook, Greg Malakovic, he also says, absolutely agree. It's a flat-out disgrace that the United States didn't make the men's World Cup. He also talked about Josie Altidore as well. He said, let me find it real quick. He said, is it just me or anyone else sick of Josie? I'm just tired of him never doing anything big despite all that hype around him.
On the world stage, yeah. I mean, he hasn't. I agree completely. I mean, he's done it for Toronto.
Yeah.
In the MLS, but he kind of goes
domestically. He's been awesome, but
he disappears on the world stage. Yeah.
It's
the whole team, though. That's been the problem. It's everybody across the board, and it comes down to coaching. These guys are talented enough to play at these high levels. They're talented enough to qualify for these tournaments.
Yeah, and
they're not doing it.
And that brings this whole thing of, is college hurting, our development?
Yeah.
Because you're seeing all these academies starting,
I don't know
what's best. Because you're still getting the school plus you get to play every day. That's your job, soccer.
Yeah.
You stay there. It's like a boarding school. It's a legit program. But all these kids, you're still seeing them go to college to get that, education.
Which, I don't disagree with. But if you want to make this your career just like any other sport, sometimes you got to sacrifice a little bit. These one-and-dones in basketball, they're willing to sacrifice that opportunity to be the best basketball player in the world. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is at this point.
Yeah.
I've been around the college game now with Penn. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's nice.
And there's some kids on there that, if I was building a team, maybe I would have some interest in just based off their play. But they're kind of getting buried, I guess, in the international perspective. Then by the time you're out of college, how old are you? 22, 23?
Yeah.
There's guys like Mbappe at 19 years old that are taking an entire country to a World Cup championship.
That's what I'm saying, though.
We need to develop them younger.
Yeah.
And get them.
And to go, you should start overseas. Again, Pulisic, he goes to Germany when he's 16.
Yeah.
And he has that opportunity to learn and to grow playing for, their academy. And then he's, at 18, he makes his first appearance.
Yeah.
Instead of a kid, out of college at 22 trying to go over and play in Europe, you're already behind the 8 ball because there's kids at 16 that are probably better than you already.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that's the problem with.
Yeah, your best years are being spent there.
We can figure out something. I don't even know, because college is always going to be king for soccer.
Yeah, but the women seem to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
All them went to college.
Mm-hmm.
All them had 4-year college careers.
It's true.
And they're the most dominant team in the world running every year now.
It's so funny.
So it's something they can do in their academies and in their development that the men have not been able to do. I think it's, again, we're just getting the lack of athletes maybe in the men's game because more of the better athletes flock to football and basketball in this country.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To where I guess the best women's athletes, usually it is soccer and maybe basketball are the two sports they kind of really put all their effort into. So
a little more options, I guess.
Yeah, it could just be the lay of the land, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And until we get one of these big-time super athletes that just sticks with soccer and proves that he can be a top 10, 15 player in the world on one of these teams, we're probably still going to stay in the same little rotation.
Yeah. So, I think we could go on and on about this team, but
it should be something to look forward to. We should get a good feel where this team's at after this week.
True. And hopefully we'll come in on Tuesday and not be fuming about
after
drawing
a
Cuba.
6-0 Cuba victory or something.
Oh, man.
We got that West African Cup going on, too.
Say anything else you want to add on the international stage?
Well, just that. There's no secret that if anybody's heard our show before, obviously anybody that's watching here, this is our first one on A2D Radio. But I am a big Ivory Coast soccer fan. A lot of it goes with FIFA. I'm going to talk to Tom about maybe doing some kind of FIFA show at some point because I'm a big FIFA player. And over the years, you learn these guys, and they have big goals for you when you're playing the game. And you're like, man, I'm going to follow this guy's career. So there's been a few. Mm-hmm. And with Pepe coming to Arsenal and things like that. So that's just another one of these cups that they would have been friendlies. Mm-hmm. But now they've added a cup that's going to have qualifications for World Cup. So Ivory Coast is currently playing Ghana today. And I'm not getting much as far as an update. They're weird when they do because of being in Africa, they don't really give you the live update.
Yeah.
It's
They don't
like
have anybody on hand.
no, ESPN will still say games at 4:00, and then all of a sudden in like 2 hours or
They'll
coming
give the
up
final
soon,
score.
I'll have a score.
Yeah.
With some things because to Africa, there's not a lot of coverage over there.
It's Africa, man.
Yeah, but there's some good players, man. We talked about it on the show recently. I did the
You had a nice African
spotlight
segment.
players. A lot of the best players in the world now are coming out of those African countries.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Mane. He keeps scoring for Liverpool.
Yeah, Mane's a beast.
Yeah.
He's just an absolute beast. I said he's the best player on that team. Hands down. He's better than Salah.
Ooh.
I said
Another African.
He's better than Salah, though. He's just a better all-around player. The way I look at it.
Maybe.
So,
Maybe not.
what else? I know we had some other stuff we wanted to definitely touch on. Oh, I know. One thing I want to do. I brought the Germany ball for a reason today.
Oh, that's right. You wanted to give a shout-out to your...
I have to say a very sad farewell to my man Bastian Schweinsteiger, German international, one of my favorite players of all time. 8 Bundesliga titles with Bayern. Another reason I wore the pants today. 7 German Cups. They won the Champions League in 2013 under his leadership. He was the captain of the 2014 German team that won the World Cup. 2006 and 2010, they were third place. He had 121 apps with the German national team and 4th all-time for the German national team in goals with 24. He did play for Man United from 15 to 17, which I've forgiven him for.
Are you sure?
I have. I got over it. And honestly, he's a big reason why I became a hardcore MLS fan, because
Got you back.
there was a few years for me that I didn't respect the MLS game. I didn't think it was a good enough game to kind of watch on a full-time basis.
Well, we're supposed to be talking up the MLS.
We are now. This was my point. And when he came over, even though the league had been better, this was my first opportunity to be like, you know what? He's in the league now. He's playing for Chicago. Let me start watching some of these games so I can kind of get more of him before his career's over. And then by doing that, I realized that how much of a better brand the MLS had become and that I had been missing out. So I was briefly rooting for the Fire because of him. And then I decided that I needed a more localized team. And I chose Red Bull because they have a lot of Arsenal ties.
The New Jersey Red Bulls.
The New Jersey Red Bulls. That's fine. They can be the Jersey Red Bulls.
I'm going to talk shit until the match.
Dude, you're going to talk so much shit, and if we beat you in the playoffs, it's going to
I'm going to eat my words. There's a bridge. I'm going to jump right off the Commodore Barry if that happens.
There's a couple of them around here. I mean, I can help you very easily.
Oh,
Bungee
no, I'm doing right in Chester. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm out.
You're going right there.
Oh, if we lose, I'm out after the game.
So we are going to that game.
Wolfpack, what's up, guys?
We're going to that game, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so
we could segue City into that one.
Yeah, it's on our Facebook, the Kickin Stateside Facebook page. But about 2 weeks ago, Red Bull and Union had played. We had done our first live appearance up there. So we went, watched the game. Red Bull won 2-0. They've since collapsed again and lost their last 2. Philly has collapsed a little bit.
I don't like this.
And unfortunately for us, with the new playoff structure, there is a 1-game playoff coming up, and it is between Red Bull
and the U.
So we will be attending. This will be our.
I'm so excited.
Yes. This will be our second live appearance.
Yes. And you're coming into my territory now.
I've never been to Talent Energy Stadium.
Ooh.
So.
Good for you.
Yeah. So this will be a first for me. I'm pretty excited about it.
I mean, you're going to be surrounded by my people.
Now, let me ask you, are they as crazy, being that I've been around Philly sports my entire life, are they as wild and crazy as, like, Flyers, Eagles fans? Because I'm coming repping my team. I just need to know if I have to watch my back walking out of the parking lot, or is it still soccer?
If you beat us, nobody's going to do anything.
I'm not going to talk.
There's going to be a lot of words exchanged.
I'm not going to talk shit.
Regardless, though.
I'm not going to talk anything. I'm just going to go and watch my team and support my team like I always do.
And you're wearing red, and when
I'm
Union
gonna
fans
wear.
see that red, it's like a bull.
Well, that's why I'm gonna wear the dark blue, so I kind
you're
of
blending
lay. I'm
in.
gonna lay under the radar a little bit, and my mouth will do the work, I guess. Especially if that girl that was sitting behind us is at this game, at the Red Bull game.
Just chirping you from the seats.
Dude, she was chirping me so hard.
But, I mean, we didn't really have much room to feet to stand on that
No,
game.
she was so drunk she couldn't understand what I was explaining to her
It's
anyway.
true.
So,
Well, we think so, unless that's just how she acts.
yeah.
But you never know. Yeah, we'll definitely be more in the works on what we'll be doing. I'm tailgating the game for sure.
Yeah.
I already got
I'll be there. I'm not going to not go.
a whole spread. We got the
Not worried
grill
about it.
rocking.
Oh, and there's my score. Ivory Coast lost 3-1 to Ghana.
Oh, jeez.
What a shame.
What a setback.
They haven't been playing well, honestly. Like, Pepe and them don't really play right now for them. They've been, like, running up some of these other kids. But
Well, you got to give the kids some opportunity.
you got to give them some time.
But, yeah, feel you.
Nothing else on the international, really, that I want to talk about. I mean, we got the MLS Playoff show coming up,
Yep,
which is pretty sweet.
with the new format now.
Yes.
No two legs anymore. It's all single elimination from the start.
And then it goes to 2 legs.
Right. Because now there's too many teams in the league, and it used to end in December.
Yeah.
There'd be snow on the ground for the MLS Cup, the final. And
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing here? Why
Especially-
are we shortening the season?
Yeah, with the East Coast teams that are so good, too.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Pacific Northwest teams that are good in snowy season.
Yeah, we'll kind of touch on that a little bit
Yeah.
later once, I guess we still have a little bit of time. 2 weeks-ish? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, the 19th is the first slate of games.
Okay.
So we got a little bit of time before we break that down.
That's right. The Union games.
We're on the 20th
Yes.
Yeah, the 20th, Sunday at 3.
at 3.
At 3, yep.
So we will be there.
Yep,
And-
I'll be there as well.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
our producer. Introduce yourself.
I'm Ralph.
Everybody, this
Ralph.
is Ralph. Any of our listeners, we've always produced our own shows. Working with A2D now, we have a producer. So this is our first time working with Ralph. We got some cool things to come. We're all kind of learning each other and some things that we kind of like to have on our show and that they, require us and like us to do here. So it's going to be a nice little pairing, I think.
Absolutely.
So, and feel free anytime, dude. Anytime there's like something on Facebook or whatever, you can always jump in
Yeah,
on
definitely.
us. We're okay with that.
All right.
We're happy to have somebody else to kind of fill a little bit of room for us.
Yeah,
and,
man.
and throw some stuff out. So that's sweet.
Do we have any poll updates?
I'll look that up real quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
See if anybody's actually.
Anything else?
As far as that goes,
Did we get any hard-hitting questions at all this week?
I didn't get much from anybody. I think everybody's like, I know all my soccer pals text group.
Okay.
Most of them, other than my one Liverpool boy, Merrick, most of them are City fans. So I think they're just in quite a bit of shock, and they didn't have much to say for me this week. I kind of reached out to them, and they were kind of leaving it simple. So I didn't get much from them.
I'm trying to look and see.
Brett didn't have something awesome for us. Brett's always got something good for us.
Brett usually does have something. I don't know. Brett, chime in, bro.
Yeah, come on, Brett. We know you got to have some kind of.
He's the he's the golden boy.
He's our gold standard as far as questions go.
No, Facebook has the top fans. He's top fan. What's up, Brett?
Oh, nice. There's a nice tweet out from Aaron Conley. 48 minutes ago. Been a good couple days so far. Dubbing the FA Ireland kits.
So for the poll question, Liverpool will win the league by 10 or more points. It's 50-50 right now.
Okay.
50-50.
Ooh.
That sounds. I mean, I kind of figured that would be. That's a big.
Yeah,
that's
that
a
is a
big
big
number, but it's very doable.
I was saying once City lost, I was like, the lead is 8. Because originally, again, I was going to say by Christmas, is Liverpool going to be in first place even?
Right.
But now that the gap is so big, I was like, are they going to win by 10 or more? Because it seems like they're on the track since nobody's been able to stop them.
No, that's a valid question. I mean, the more you start to think about it, if City takes another one of these losses, 10 is definitely not out of the question.
Right.
Because I feel like we said, they're going to be putting up points every week, whether it's 1 or 3. I don't see anybody keeping them out of, putting something up.
I have a random question. This was going to be my original poll question for the site, but do you think Pulisic should be loaned out?
I mean,
for me, I'm I think he should just stay and prove his worth on the training ground and let himself work back into the team. I know I've talked to some people this past weekend who have said he should be loaned out and he should be starting every week and he should be getting his time with, say, a bottom team, like a throw name like a Villa or something like that. Like Tammy last year.
Yeah.
And just get those game minutes, because it doesn't help with him just sitting on the bench or not even on the bench.
I mean,
it's not helping his development.
I guess if I'm Chelsea and I'm in the midst of a transfer ban and I have the opportunity where I can loan him out and get some money, and I know Willian's healthy and we're playing good and everything like that, why not?
Right.
Because it's important for these guys to get as much time on the pitch as possible. And it doesn't seem that Frank has a way to do that yet, even in these cups and stuff. Like I said, there might be a long-term plan. It's a lot of games still to be played. There's a lot of Premier League games.
I know.
They got a lot of Champions League games, Carabao Cup, things like that.
Sometimes I get impatient. I keep forgetting we're only 8 weeks in.
No, but there's something to be said for both, because, again, even only 8 weeks in, if you're not getting in the spot and the team's now continuing to roll, and you're not really a big part of it, then you're not going to be a big part of it, and it could stutter his development a little bit.
I mean, it's not helping, but I'd rather see him, maybe just because I'm a Chelsea stan, that I want him to stay.
Yeah.
To keep him on the team, but at the same time,
I mean, you're training around the best, though.
Head and heart feeling.
Which is nice,
Yeah.
Even if you're not playing the games, you are training around the top players in the world.
What's the thing? I mean, if you're going up against Willian every day in practice, I mean...
Right.
You're only going to get better.
Yeah, and seeing guys like Conte, we talk about how good his defense is, and you're actually getting a chance to play against him. It's just going to make you better. And I think Lampard's proving that he's a pretty good coach.
Absolutely.
He's doing the best he can with what he's given, which a lot of these guys can't seem to do.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Chelsea has a transfer ban slapped on them. They can't do any moves. Nobody could come in, but people can go out.
Yeah, it's kind of how City's going to be too, which is going to be great.
Yeah, financial fair play.
Yeah.
They should be hit with that way more often.
They should. The billion-dollar boys. It's so nice to see them take that loss.
What was the other one that I saw? So if Man United is looking for help scoring-wise, is there someone that you can think of that would be able to help them out in January, a striker? Because I've seen Mandzukic.
What, is getting a Mario Mandzukic late
posing
in his
this question
career?
to you, brother. I don't know.
Or is that
I
just?
saw it and I was like,
I'm not saying. I'm thinking. That's just another Man United move. It's typical of what they've been doing over these
It's kind of a safe.
It's safe, but it's
like a low risk, high reward. Because I mean, how much money is he gonna want?
I mean, he's still gonna get paid. He's been a great striker.
His Bayern days.
Yeah. But even with Juventus too, man.
True.
He was solid.
Yeah.
You just lose a spot when the best striker in the world comes
That's
to your
true.
team.
When Ronaldo comes to your team, you usually take a
you take a step
take
back.
your ass on the bench.
I mean, I'm not doubting or debating that he's a great player. I think he's a phenomenal player, but is that the right move for this team? Again, we keep talking about finding the young kids in the academy, giving them opportunities. That's what they need to do. They need to clear house with some of these big money
like the
guys.
Mason Greenwoods of the world.
Yeah, play them. Every time I see
hurt
that,
too.
Yeah, he did. That sucks for them because he's been one of the bright spots for them actually, as far as a good young player. And I don't know. It's like you spent all that money on Maguire, but there were so many other holes that doesn't even look like a good signing right now.
I know.
I mean, he's pretty much probably the only reason that they have 9 points because the defense he's played. But it's like
I like Lindelof.
Lindelof's all right. McTominay.
Scully McTominay.
He can launch it.
The old Scotsman.
Yeah, he launched it against Arsenal.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Again, inexperience.
Yeah. But look what Lampard's doing with inexperience.
You're right.
So, it's coaching. To me, it's coaching.
It all comes full circle.
It does. It always comes full circle to coaching.
Fuck you, Marco Silva.
Whether it's 12-year-old girls soccer or it's, Premier League soccer or any sport. Look at it. Any sport. Coaching is key. You can have all the talent in the world if you can't put them in the right spot and you can't get the best out of your players.
Motivate the lads.
Yes. You got to motivate these cats.
What's the other thing? One more thing before we can get to the red card, yellow card, and kind of
wrap up.
Shut her down. Yeah. Did you see the whole Aubameyang thing? I just want to where basically the old Dortmund boss.
I was going to talk to you about this actually. Yeah, go ahead.
Basically said that he went to Arsenal once he saw the money, and Aubameyang tweeted back at him, clapped right back at him.
He did.
Like, seriously clapped.
I don't know how I didn't talk to you about it. I meant to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up.
The tweet, I don't know what he originally said that pissed Aubameyang off.
Yes.
But he came back and said, he said, you left for the money like you saw. And you're like, okay. And Aubameyang's like, okay, better for you. I never talk about, again, Aubameyang's English is a little,
Yeah.
He's like, better for you. I never talk about why I really left Dortmund, Mr. Watzke, who is the CEO of Dortmund. He's like, you such a clown, with a clown emoji.
Yes.
He's like, I remember that time you said we would never sell Ousmane Dembele, who was on Dortmund, sold him to Barcelona for a shit ton. It was like 120-some million. And then he said, you saw more than 100 million, and you were the first to take that money. He said, don't talk about money, please. Please leave me alone. Please.
Yes.
And it's like,
yeah, he's done. His times there over.
Yeah.
I mean,
or he was Watzke talked shit when he was like, you left for the money, but we'll be the ones laughing at you on Wednesdays when we're in Champions League and you're in Europa League.
Yeah.
That's what really. That got him. I think that was the one that really set him off.
As an Arsenal and an Aubameyang fan,
triggered.
I'm pumped by it because I feel like
triggered.
That's gonna drive him.
I really liked Aubameyang too. Fuck him.
It's going to drive him to get Arsenal to Champions League now, which is awesome for me as a fan because now they're in a position right now where they would qualify, and he's been the big reason.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first week he hasn't scored, so that was fantastic. He was 7 for 7 coming into this.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I mean, he's 100% right. We talk about this with Dortmund all the time. What are they? They're just like an Ajax. They're just like they bring these players in, they buy them cheap, they develop them, and then they sell them off. Maybe these guys didn't want to necessarily go.
Jadon Sancho coming up here.
Oh, he'll be the next one, without a doubt. He will be the next one. Nah, I mean, that was it. I mean, Pulisic, gone. All of them, gone.
I mean, I could name a shit ton of players.
As soon as their value hits peak level.
We don't have that much time left to tell you all the people Dortmund have sold for a bunch of money.
Yeah, I mean, even Mkhitaryan coming to Arsenal, and now Arsenal took advantage and got him off to Roma. He's been playing great for Roma, too, by the way.
Good for him.
Which, yeah, I'm happy for him. I never disliked him at Arsenal. He just didn't fit. He wasn't part of the scheme.
Yes.
So
very system player.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to bring that to light because you being an Arsenal and obviously Dortmund fan.
Yeah, it was crazy how we haven't brought that up before, but I was glad that you did because, yeah, I don't know. I agree with my man, Aubameyang.
Yeah, just a little thing if you guys.
Those owners always quick to jump at the money.
Any of the fans would like to comment on our Facebook or Twitter on the whole Aubameyang situation, please do.
Yes.
We always love the feedback.
Yes, we do.
So, all right. You want to get into red card, yellow card?
Red card, yellow card. So it's a new segment we're going to be doing for the live.
Should have got like a.
I have them. We kind of threw this that we were going to bring it out today at the last minute, so I didn't bring them. But I will have them for the next show. I was given yellow and red cards a couple years ago by a soccer ref when I was a car salesman, and I use them for my kids for when they get out of line. They get yellow and red cards.
Nice.
So they haven't gotten many red cards lately.
I say, what does a red card entail?
You don't want a red card when you're with Daddy. if Dad pulls out a red card, it's over. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, yellow card will get you a little tap in the back of the head and a
warning. Do you get a yellow card accumulation?
You get 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
like
get
the same.
Oh yeah, your second one.
2 in a day.
2 in a day, you're getting a red. Yeah, definitely. You don't get 2 in a day with me. I'm telling you though. You get 1 yellow card from me, you're done. My kids will tell you. Hopefully they're watching. But they know.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, as far as my yellow, that's putting people on notice. That's like, hey, get your shit together. You're on a yellow. You keep messing up. You're going red. You're out. So right now for yellow, I got Man United. Just because they've been kind of hanging up there a little bit, they should maybe be on a red card. But we'll give them another week or 2 maybe to see what they're going to do. Come off the international break. Maybe they can grab something. Maybe they make a coaching change. Who knows what their plans are. But right now I have them on yellow. And I have U.S. Soccer on yellow. Again, we talked about there's 2 big games coming up. I want to see how they perform. These are 2 games that they should win. They should get away with 6 points. They should be right back up in the league or lead of this little group that they're in with Cuba and Canada. And another thing is we talk about them losing players. One of my favorite U.S. players, Arsenio Dest, is now discussing, is he going to continue to play with the U.S. team, or is he going to follow what he says was always his dream and play with the Dutch team?
Right.
And I think if he has the opportunity to play with the Dutch team, he's going to leave, and that's just another bad thing for U.S. soccer. Losing another talent like that at that age to another country when you have the chance to market him, pay him, and show him that you want to build around him, losing him would be bad. So
just another failure.
Yeah, so I have them on notice, and we'll see what they do this week. And as far as my Reds, man, I got Everton, which we talked about.
Yeah, they're
you're in relegation zone right now, guys.
They're pretty much.
We had high
sent off.
we had high hopes, and it is not looking good, and it's going to
on notice.
Silva mainly, you are on big time notice. If you're not fired by the end of when they come back, if they lose another game, he's got to go. And Poach, man.
Yeah.
As much as it's great for me right now that he has Tottenham in a bit of disarray. I know at some point that ownership and that fan base is not going to allow this to continue. 10 straight winless games on the road, and losing to what was the team that they just lost to?
Who?
Before they lost to Bayern. And before
Spursy?
Yeah. Their U21 team was losing to them today.
Oh, Colchester.
Yeah, to lose to Colchester.
Colchester.
In a shootout. And then to get dominated by Bayern. I mean, you looked at that score at one point.
7-2?
Yeah, when we were doing
That's
our
an
last
ass-kicking.
we were doing our last show, it was what, 4-2 in the 77th minute, and by the time we finished the show and the game was over, it was 7-2.
Serge Gnabry had 4 goals.
Yeah, and he just rubbed it in their face. And all of Arsenal social media was tweeting that. I loved every minute of it, like red on red, like we support you, Serge Gnabry, like
wow, that's
dominate
crazy.
The Spurs. Yeah, it was awesome.
I'd be pissed.
I retweeted a lot of that shit. So, and yeah, and then to just lay another egg, like on the Premier League stage,
absolutely,
to a team like Brighton, they are on big time notice, and I think it's time. He probably should have moved on after they lost Premier League last year. And I don't know. It's starting to rear its ugly head.
It is.
So,
I'm gonna say for my first yellow, I'm gonna put Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think he's on notice. I think a couple more bad results for United. He's probably gonna get canned here. I think they need to use this international break, like we've said, the first international break, to kind of regroup, get the guys to play. And Pogba's the biggest guy you got to wrangle in. Because if he's not on board, he's the leader on that team.
Yeah, or should be.
He should be. He doesn't always show it, and his head's in the clouds. And he was hurt for a month there, but it's like, bro, you're the guy. If you care about staying, Pogba, which obviously he probably doesn't,
yeah,
he's got to get the guys to play and be that leader that he should be able to be. But if not, I think he's putting Ole Gunnar on a silver tray and saying you're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Second on notice, I would like to call my the Finnish assassin Pukki out. I'm putting you on notice, bro. Where have you been?
He went from show legend to being on notice.
I'm putting him on notice, man.
You're right, though. He's disappeared.
I got to do it.
He's disappeared.
When he's not scoring, Norwich is not winning. And that's kind of been the trend. And they're, 2 wins so far. I'm pretty sure he's had incredible games.
Yeah.
Well, the first one, did he have the hat trick in the first one?
He had the hat trick in the first one, yep.
So, and we were praising him, but now, reality's setting in.
Yeah.
And I gotta put him on notice.
All right, noted.
Duly noted, sir. My first red is Watford, which is pretty easy too.
You lazy ass.
Fuck you.
Yeah, they do suck though.
But I'm sorry, I've been saying it. Like
You
I'm
have
gonna
been.
print it on shirts. Like Watford sucks.
You should. We could put that on the back of one of our shirts.
And again, if you're a Watford fan out there, I'm sorry, but you guys are. The Hornets are slowly losing.
Yeah. You're going to be watching them in a different league next year. I can pretty much guarantee you that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My other red card, I'm going to have to go with I guess I'll have to go with an actual player. I'm going to say my boy, why am I losing train of thought? I'm losing it.
Don't lose it.
I'm losing it. Oh, Ross Barkley on Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think his time is pretty much like
he's done.
We don't need you in the midfield anymore. We're fine without you. Conte's healthy. We're good.
Yeah. It's going to be tough for them.
Jorginho's good, fine. Like
it's going to be tough for them to even get anything out of him at this point.
Yeah.
They just got to maybe cut ties with him. He hasn't played enough for anybody to really.
It's like, what's his value at this point?
You know what his value is to me? His value is to go to like a team like a Villa or somebody and be a veteran leadership to help keep them up maybe.
Yeah.
And that's about it. He's been around and he's had a decent career, but you're right. I mean, it's time, I think, at Chelsea.
It's just real stale from him.
It is.
And I think the straw that broke the old camel's back was that the PK that he was like, I'm taking this.
Yeah.
Back away, and then he just skies it.
Yeah. You can't do that. When you man up for that kick, man, you better put it in there. Or at least have the goalie make an incredible save. Yeah. If the goalie's not making an incredible save or you're not putting it in, you just look like an asshole.
Yeah. So yeah. That's our new segment.
Our new segment that we will be bringing to you every week on this show. So let's see who we put on notice if they turn it around. Because one thing, if you've listened to any of our previous shows, it seems that most of our call-outs have either stepped up the following week or we're 100% right and they're just fading out into mediocrity.
Yeah.
So I think we're doing a pretty good job with this so far, man.
I think so.
And I'm happy to be here. Happy to have Ralph on board, man. This is great.
Ralphie, thank you. This was
nice to be able to just sit back and talk and not have to worry about running a board or doing this or adding that or any of that. So, yeah, it's just going to keep on getting better for us, man.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys out there enjoyed our first show. Again, we would love any feedback you have.
Yeah, please send it through the A2D social media or our own social media. Both would be preferred. So that way we can see it because we run our own personal one, so we see everything that's put up on there. And we'll hear from these guys as far as, the new listeners and maybe even some of our old listeners, what people had to say. It's big for us, man, because without listeners and without the feedback, we can't do what we love to do.
We got nothing.
We can't bring the people what they want. So cue in the OJ's music. It's coming. Don't worry.
Boom.
We're going to have that ready for Ralph because I'm pretty sure there's no copyrights on that anymore because it's so old. And we'll be allowed to play that on air. For this show, on our recorded show, we have a little bit more leeway where we can throw some music clips in and stuff. So yeah, man, this is really exciting.
It's cool.
We're going to bring more swag for the studio here too. Obviously, this is a full sports company. We are the soccer show. So
I was saying, not just listen to us, but listen to all the shows on A2D.
Listen to everybody on here, man. I've got a chance since we've met Tom to listen and check out a few shows, and these guys are awesome talking about Philly sports and just talking about sports in general. And, yeah, it's just cool to kind of jump in as they already have some stuff established and hopefully grow together and kind of take this to that level that everybody wants to get to.
Yeah, and shout out to my boy Robbie Brinkman, who works for A2D here. He was kind of the guy that I saw he worked here, and I reached out to him, and he kind of got the ball moving. So
anything with this business, man,
appreciate
you're
it.
realizing you need other people, and you just got to meet the right people at the right time. And I think we're in a good spot here, and I'm looking really forward to where we're gonna go.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah.
What else? We got about 2 minutes left. So what else? We got the MLS preview show again, the playoff preview show. That will be by the next time we're sitting down here, right? I think
We're going to record most of that, Thursday?
we're going to do some of it Thursday on our recorded, but I think we're going to come hard even more with it for the next live show too, because we really the only thing we'll have to talk about is what happened
Just
with the U.S.
Yeah, and the fixtures for Week 9.
The Week 9 coming fixtures for Premier League, and that'll give us a real good chance to really dive into even more of this MLS and dig in a little bit.
Yeah, just stick. I mean, for the Philly market, got to talk about the U, baby.
Yeah.
Boys in blue.
I know. It does. Again, it sucks that we got to play round 1. The only single game elimination round now in MLS playoffs. We were hoping to avoid it. Everything was lining up. We were going to avoid it. And sure enough, on the last day, you laid an egg. We laid an egg. Toronto wins. DC draws. And next thing you know, we fell from 5th to 6th.
You're coming into the big house, baby.
Yeah.
Talent Energy.
And you're going down.
I've yelled at a small child in an Henri jersey, though. Just letting you know. So
listen, if you knew how many small children I've yelled at over my sports watching career.
Just laying that out.
I have no problem walking into Chester, chest out, Red Bull ready.
Cool.
Drinking my Red Bull because that's my game day
Can't wait.
tradition.
I'll be drinking my Bud Light, boy.
Yeah, that blue Bud Light bottle.
Damn right, boy. Chest out. Let's
Yeah.
go. You in my house now.
Whatever. So,
All right. Anything else
before
we wrap a wrap?
No, I'm getting a few texts and things here from people that have watched, so this is awesome, man.
Cool. Well, yeah.
You gonna run us out, brother?
Yeah, I got you right now. Got you boys right now.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, thank you, everybody, for watching the first live show here on A2D Radio. Plan for plenty more.